fresh out the streets, and I swear I did a whole lot for this shit. Fresh out my clicks, so I had to just stay grounded here for my clip. They dropped this beat, so I let 100 rounds go for my clip. And I'm a crusher, move like Usher, moving mountains out of this bitch. And I was there too, moving bows, clearing hot the cold like I was there flu. You could be a distance, I'm a menace, I'll be there too. Started with the one that elevated, now I'm tier 2. I don't fear you niggas, if you want it, then I dare you too. They moving packs, but like a snail though. Yeah, low. Getting heavy racks, you niggas frail though. Yeah, low. Trapping, keep on bumping like it's braille, ho. Yeah, low. Fresh about the pack, you niggas stale though. Yeah, low. Smart, I'm thinking like I went to Yale though. Yeah, low. Team is full of winners, never fail though. Yeah, low. Bentley white on white, we call it pale though. Yeah, low. Smart, we never talking on these cell phones. Big low, where you been? I told them running up that heavy bag. Everything I whip in the garage, it come with heavy tags. Goal is just to keep the flowing, you don't wanna let it lag. Low is high, keep my profile, but still they let me smash. Yeah, they like to enter in the game, but no, they never last. Limitless, but they got a ceiling that they'll never pass. Hit 124, I even just look at the dash. See ya out, blow her out, either way I'm about to blast. Get 'em low, get the perfect picture in the frame, no. Get 'em low, thought you was the man, you niggas lame, no. Get 'em low, they'll continue bringing what my name, no. Get 'em low, yeah it's past Monday, still the same, no. Get 'em low, made a way, was walking with a cane, no. Get 'em low, been an animal you couldn't tame, no. Get 'em low, circle still the same, so fuck the fame, no. Get 'em low, but now we doing better since I came, no. Racks was getting bigger, but you know I never changed though. Sergeant Motto, but you know we moving major pain, no. Tide stick, so you know we never let them stains show. Shooting with me in the gym, so I won't let my main go. Cold as ice, but you know I'm shooting with that flame, no. Moved it to a different business, hustle still the same, no. Could've been outnumbered, but you know when nigga came, no. Moving like I'm about to spin the shell or blow the flame, no. Yeah, low. Yeah, low.
I'm offended by the language of uprising applied to people who are breaking into other black people's stores and looting them. This is an uprising against what exactly? Against the black police chief, against the mostly minority police force, against the black mayor, against the black president, against the black attorney general?
Okay, so boom, right? A friend of mine that I met a while ago met me when I was a very radical black power guy, you know, on my super pro black, sent me this, assuming that this is going to trigger me to no end. This is Ben Shapiro. I don't like drawing judgment about people before I see full things on it. So I want to see this whole sit down because supposedly there was some prejudice going on in this. And I just want to hear what's being said. And I'll tell you guys if that's what I think of Ben Shapiro or not, because sometimes facts just can't be taken as facts. And people feel some type of way about the facts afterwards. I don't know if that's the case. I haven't seen this yet, so we'll be getting this raw reaction right now. Like, subscribe, comment.
Things that I wanted to share with you. According to Pew Research, the net worth of white families in 2013 was $141,000. For black families, it was $11,000, even less than the $19,000 it was in 2007. According to economist Edward Wolf of the University of New York, excluding vehicles and other durables, the median black family worth is just $1,700, while 40% of black families have zero or negative wealth. White family worth, in terms of financial worth, is 69 times more than that of black families. Given this disparity, how can you argue that racism is not a driving factor in income inequality?
Before he answers, I think the answer to this is going to be the fact that we're counting a large percentage of two-parent households on the white family side, and we're counting a large percentage of one-parent households on the black people side. 77% of black children are born out of wedlock into single-parent households where the father's not around, so the income is counted separately. So each person is living off of their own income compared to two people putting an income together and the household in general having more money. And I think white parents tend to keep their kids a little bit longer. So sometimes the kids are also working in the house with the parents. So we're talking about 3 or 4 incomes at times when it comes to white households versus black. I don't think it's systematic racism while that's happening. I think it's lack of families on the black side. Let's see what he says.
Because it has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture. And when you have a culture that doesn't, and when, you know what? Explain to me. You explain to me why black kids aren't graduating high school. Explain that one to me. Explain to me why black kids are shooting each other in rates significantly higher than whites are shooting each other. Explain to me why 13% of the population is responsible for 50% of the murder. Explain to me why the number of black kids in prison, not for innocent reasons, not for walking down the street and getting pulled into a prison, is so high. Explain, if it has nothing to do with culture, explain to me why the single motherhood rate in the black community jumped from 20% to 70% in the same course of time that the civil rights movement has made such tremendous strides. Is America more racist now than it was in 1960? And if it is, please explain to me how that happened.
Oh my God! Yo, hold the fuck up! Oh God, damn! Who this nigga again?
That was a lot of facts. That was a lot of facts. And all of that truthfully has to do. God damn, he just cooked that question. Shit. It truthfully does have everything to do with culture. We come from a very dusty culture, a very non-progressive culture. And by progressive, I'm not talking about that weird political shit that you guys are talking about. I'm talking progression as in leveling up, building families, starting corporations, that building right there. That's the kind of progression that I'm talking about. I don't know what those political terms are. That was a lot of facts. And that's true. I have to see how they responded to this. 10 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I'd have heard him say this and I'd have been like, who does Pilgrim think he talking to? Like, ain't no way he just gonna say that about black people. And I don't feel some type of way about it. But it's hard to argue facts. It's really hard. I'm a fact-based person. And when you state that many facts, no matter how my feelings decide to perceive that shit, it's still facts.
I look at the Baltimore uprisings as more than just riots, right? I hate the idea when you say thugs and riots, right? White people riot as well. When y'all win Super Bowls 2 years in a row, y'all get off the hook. Don't make it seem like it's just Baltimore getting upset. So my 30-second answer is I feel the frustration of what's happening in the community. And I think it's a symptom. The uprisings are a symptom of a pressure that's been unaddressed for too long.
I'm offended by the language of uprising applied to people who are breaking into other black people's stores and looting them. This is a lack of values. And people who are destroying private property, destroying cop cars, in an uprising against what exactly? Against the black police chief, against the mostly minority police force, against the black mayor, against the black president, against the black attorney general, against the entirely, against a city council that.
Yo, this nigga gotta chill.
Oh my God!
Yo, why is he cooking like this? Why is he cooking like this? Yo, he should not have these stats. He should not have these facts. He should not have this shit so like cock loaded and ready. Like he came with a fully loaded clip. Like they came with a revolver and the revolver only had 2 bullets left in it. He came with the extendo, with a backup extendo. He left a couple rounds in the car. He got a couple boxes of ammunition with the homie. He came locked and loaded for this. You would think he had practice for these questions. Like, why is he labeling this shit off like this? And he's telling the truth. It's one thing to just be saying a bunch of mumbo jumbo and be lying. He's spitting.
That is 9 of 15 are black and all 15 are elected Democrats. What is the uprising against? What is it seeking to achieve? I still don't see what exactly the riots are seeking to achieve. Bottom line is, this is all, it all could be boiled down to just act like a mensch. Act like a human being. Honestly, it's not useful to riot. It's not useful to break things. It's not useful to throw rocks at people. And the idea that we're supposed to sort of correlate your level of outrage.
I'm going to stick to the 30 seconds on
the
this
last
one,
sentence. The last sentence. Yeah. The idea that we're supposed to correlate your level of outrage with a certain level of justification. In other words, the more outraged you are and the more angry you are, the more justified you must be, is absolute nonsense.
Then
I can understand that.
Since the issue of disparity has come up a number of times, when does disparity not indicate racism?
level of effort.
Statistical disparity. For example, overwhelmingly men commit crimes more than women, but we don't say that the Justice Department is sexist. So is there a line that you draw for yourself, or is there some way that you interpret statistical disparity and you determine that that is not a racial disparity, it's something else?
Did them niggas just not answer? Did them niggas just... Y'all make us look bad when you fucking do stuff like this. You make us look terrible when you get up there and you just don't tell the brutal and the honest truth, because it makes it look like we're complaining to no avail. It makes it seem like we want to fight, but there's no ending to the fight. Like when they take the one thing that you have away and you have to decide to just be completely honest with a situation, you just pipe down and you have nothing to say. When the Ben Shapiro guy, when he just said something, y'all had nothing to say. When the host just posed a question to you two, you had nothing to say. That makes us look terrible. I would rather you just come out and tell the truth, that it has to be something else at that point. And when we ask what that something else is, then we could get into the truth about what's going on in the community. But we're never going to get to the truth if y'all don't even want to answer common sense questions.
Well, we can return to it. That's okay too.
Can we get two other niggas up here next time? Please and thank you. Get a different brother and a different sister up here that want to be honest and answer questions. You got us looking crazy right now. They clapping because you just got shut down, fired, done. Violation, done.
Ben, did you want to?
Yes, it's called evidence
Got this nigga sweating and shit.
of racism. When there is no evidence of racism, it's probably not racism. When there is actual evidence of racism, it's probably racism. And the fact that everybody jumps from there's inequality and therefore there is inequity. Just because there's inequality does not mean there was inequity.
But there has to be racism. You can't say there's no racism.
Without evidence?
No. I'm just saying that I don't know which animal. Maybe we're talking about dogs or something. I'm talking about human beings, and I'm like, human beings are most likely going to have racial prejudices. I'm just so sorry. Okay. I'm just so sorry. I don't know. I don't come from. I come from planet Earth.
Charles, I want to ask you a question. So your default is that when there is no evidence, racism is the deciding factor. That is
no, it's not saying that. I'm just saying that that you're going to have sexists, you're going to have racists, you're going to have all this stuff. I mean, I'm just saying that.
I agree it exists, but the problem that I'm seeing, and this is the problem with the general conversation, is that there's no solution in simply saying there's racism out there. How does that solve anything? I mean, when you talk about there's institutional racism, what does that mean? Show me a law that is racist in intent, and we will agree. Show me a police officer who commits a racist act like we saw in South Carolina, right, where a police officer shot a black man running away and it was obviously unjustified, and I will agree. But you need the idea that you can craft a narrative based on no racism because it just must be somewhere out there in the ether, that doesn't solve problems for anybody and creates more problems for people because now they grow up in a milieu and an environment where they are told that every obstacle they face is from some shadowy, nameless, faceless group who's out to get them simply because of the color of their skin. They'll never succeed in that environment.
You see, he had his daddy growing up. That's what it sounded like when you had your daddy around and he taught you how to grab your nuts and to say it like a man.
Yeah, that's facts right there. That was some good food he was cooking right there. Not gonna lie to you. This the nigga who they said was racist?
You know, the weirdest thing is that actually in the black home, as I experienced it, really, there is no discussion of racism. Racism actually is a discussion that you actually come out and you face in the public because it's a real thing that you have to actually expect. I mean, if you're silly and you're foolish if you don't really think that that's going to be there and encountered in the real world. I'm sorry. This is just a fact of life. But if I'm at home and having dinner with my father or whatever, we don't go, oh my God, this society is so racist as I'm eating my steak. And you know what I mean? Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, I can't bear it. My black skin's fuzzy. I mean, no, we don't talk like that. Actually, we don't talk like that. We talk about, my God, oh, what's her name? Oh my God, she's got to take some pills because she's optimistic. I mean, these are the conversations we have at home. We don't have these kind of conversations that we're having right now. At least in my childhood, we didn't have them. And I'm watching
the people I knew growing up in the black neighborhood, I didn't hear anybody really talking about race.
When we're at the dinner table, I mean, it just didn't really pop
Bruh.
up unless it was an issue.
Are we skipping past everything that Ben Shapiro said? Are we skipping past that question that the host asked? Are we skipping past all of this shit? He has not addressed nothing. He is speaking in complete circles, and I'm getting confused. Moment. That's what happened when you're smoking that good before you go ahead and do a video and somebody just start hitting you with the
one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, get a dog a bone, 2000 party, out of time, my bacon smelling fine.
because we have no idea what he's talking about. Can we get two different niggas next time to get up there and speak for us? Please and thank you. These people do not represent the niggas. Like, I know some niggas down at the barbershop that could have posed a better argument than this shit.
It was on television, but mostly it was about family and regular life.
This entire time, I've been trying to think about your initial question about disparities. Are they automatically tied to race? And at first, I think all of us were stumped because we were trying to think of the instances. I do agree that they are separate, but they don't necessarily correlate within itself. There are disparities. NAACP, we are the experts inside of the nation of bringing in the racial lens for all of the work. No, they're not necessarily going hand in hand, or they're not necessarily tied to each other. So that's how I would answer it. No, they don't have to go together. My job as a civil rights attorney is to be able to make you see race at every given opportunity, but no, it's not present in each and every single disparity. To your second,
What are the standards? What are the standards, the difference? I mean, you said that you want people to see race in every single issue.
where
What
it's
are the
present,
where
it's present.
Okay,
so
so
for instance, if we're
what's your
talking,
standard as to where it's present?
absolutely, what's my, take something as simple as if we're talking about a disparity, say men and women. My job would be to show what does that look like when you have women from a different group, communities of color. What does it look like when we're talking about a woman who's working or stuck in a minimum wage job, not as a starter, but for her career?
Right. No, I guess the
What does
question
that
I'm
look
asking
like?
more
And so we
specifically.
bring in the racial dynamic of
Right.
how that
No, I
affects.
understand.
Always cross in the green, never in between. Honorable Elijah Muhammad Ali.
I understand that. The question that I'm asking is, when do you decide something race?
What the fuck did she just say?
Bruh.
Can anyone decipher that? Like, drop it in the comment section if you know what the hell she was just talking about. Who are these niggas speaking for us? All of my niggas out there, we need to have a nigga meeting. We need to meet up and decide who gonna be on TV and on the radio and in the colleges speaking for us, because I could have did a better job than them. I could have did a much better job than them. And why he's so dusty up there? Y'all thought I was about to skip past that? Why is he so dusty up there? Like, you knew you was coming up here representing us, and you done threw Uncle Leroy's stuff on and just walked your big ass out the house.
You stupid.
Bruh, you supposed to be up there lined up looking nice. You got the Kevin Durant going on at the top of your shit. Your shirt ain't even tucked into your pants. Just dusty.
Racist has occurred.
Racist?
Yes. When can you decide that an act of racism has occurred? Because if you have just a statistical disparity, has an act of racism automatically occurred? That was David's basic question, I think.
Right. There's obviously there might be there will be a disparate impact on different groups of people. That doesn't necessarily mean, I think what you're saying is, doesn't necessarily mean something racist is going on, even though there's a racial impact. So the question was about, where do you draw the line between something that might have a racial impact but is not inherently racist? Yeah. Let me move on.
Nah, that was a good way that they dropped that down right there. That was a great conversation. That was some good questions, left them stumped. What happens when you just take racism off the table and black people have to be accountable for their own shit? We don't know how to answer the questions. Great video though. No, I don't see Ben Shapiro as being a racist. I actually like the point. Yeah, 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 it's Losi. Yeah. I said, too many niggas done switched up on me, so I'm still on the ride by my lonely, Chapter by chapter, you gon' see them leave, so I'm here to write out my own story. They throwing stones and they wasn't doing nothing to me, so I went and I dug up a quarry. Learn from the block that you wasn't gonna get nothing for free, so I got my grind on as a shorty. So I got back in the lab so I could see your future. You thought I was Ricky and Morty. Too many times that I thought I could see it so clearly, but shit was just slightly distorted. All the OGs told me stack up that paper, if you ain't got double, then you can't afford it. Told me to get all the locals that's in your circumference, if not then you double the tourist. Told me to flip all the products like I'm in hibachi. Put on the show, no these lame niggas watching. Just got a rollie, so I know they clocking. Jack boys trying to plot on that profit. I'm moving like Pippi, I stay with the stocking. I keep me a rocket, tuck right in my pocket. I'm still with my day ones, you know that we locked in. And falling out ain't in the option.